Last podcast on the left is all about the facts. So when Southern New Hampshire University came on as a sponsor, it was time to do some research. Turns out they offer more than 200 online degree programs, and get this, criminal justice and psychology are some of the most popular. Classes have no set meeting times, and tuition rates are some of the lowest in the U.S. Want to learn even more about SNHU? Visit snhu.edu/last. Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have trusted Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. Just tell Progressive what you want to pay, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Visit Progressive.com to find a car insurance rate that works for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left.
Side stories.
From your blade. That's when the cannibalism started.
Side stories.
Yes. Okay, Kissel, before we begin today's episode, what I'm going to need you to do is, number one, I'm going to need you to acknowledge your place in allowing HUD to be the slush fund for the secret space program.
Well, you know, it's not...
Acknowledge.
HUD. Okay. Housing and Urban Development.
I want you to acknowledge, number one, your knowledge, what you know, what you have known about the fact that there are several large slush funds inside of HUD that allow us to fund a secret space program.
Well, it's not that secret. You just read about it on the internet.
It's secret to some.
But you know what's very interesting? You think HUD is the biggest program when it comes to space programs, when it comes to nukes and nuclear energy. Nuclear? It is the Department of Energy. That is the most powerful department in the United States government.
Yeah, they invented the light bulb.
Isn't that interesting?
But I'm saying that there is a slush problem, and I'm going to keep saying slush.
I know, because you're hungry, and now I just want a 7-Eleven slush.
The money is sliding out of our creases. Like let's say I went to sleep with a bunch of Werther's Originals kind of jammed in all my different fucking cracks. Right? Because the thing is that when you're fat and you lose a bunch of weight, you become filled with cracks. Your whole body just becomes a series of ass cracks.
Well, absolutely.
And I got Werther's in there, and maybe each one's melting and turning into a slush of butterscotch. But that slush of butterscotch, you know what that's going on to do? It is secretly funding the secret mouse program, where the mice around me just licking up the extra Werther's juice coming out of my cracks.
So we have to start this show, but in this analogy...
I will not start the show.
In this analogy, you're HUD.
Wow.
All right, everyone, welcome to Side Stories. I have been hanging out... Follow the money, hanging out with Henry HUD Zebrowski.
It's not just the HUD, it's also the mortgage and loan system. If you look at the FHA, follow the money. I watched a whole lot of shit this morning about the secret space program.
I'm very happy that you did, because I'm extremely excited to talk about this. The Chinese, they just put their flag on the moon. No! Whoa! What's next?
The thing about when the Chinese put a flag on the moon is the one thing is that they get so flag hungry later on that they got to go put another one up there.
You are absolutely ridiculous today. So space, now that we are settling things down here on Earth, you know how everything is settled down.
We're finally really just wrapping stuff up in a bow. We got so much shit figured out here in America that it's finally time to start tackling the problems in space that we have to do. Healthcare on the moon.
We did so good here on Earth. How we protected the environment. Everyone is fine. The fishes are singing. Nothing but net. It's time for us to go explore the outer realm. Let's talk about some of the extraterrestrials. And apparently, Henry, you were telling me we got some two very high level. We know about the Canadian dude, Hellyer, I believe. Or what was his name?
We're going to talk about this. Paul Hellyer.
Yeah.
This is in the world of boggling news. This is one of those stories because obviously we've been talking about...
just today I was waking up and I was like, I could go for some boggling news.
You got a pile of it. There's buckets and buckets of it.
Yeah.
But we've been unleashing our soft disclosure, right? Over the last year or so, we've been talking about how UFO news has been slowly but surely coming out in the open. Somehow, it feels like it's either a massive distraction attempt...
Sure.
or think there's just no government anymore, so shit is just flying out of people's pockets.
Well, that is interesting. Also, I do have to say this joke. I don't want to say it. It's just it's driving up inside of me, and it's going to come out of my throat right about now. Soft disclosure, yeah. Jeffrey Toobin, he had more of a hard disclosure, didn't he? And now we can continue on with the show.
When does
I don't know when it's done.
Toobin discussion end?
I wanted it to be done now, I brought it back up, and I did this to us, and I'm sorry.
Pulling a Toobin in my regular day-to-day with no audience there.
It was just, remember, because the day before he was on TV, and we're like, we got to listen to this guy.
He's a smart guy.
He's a smart guy, but then the next day he was jerking off
He's
on
a fucking filthy bus station pervert in a second. That's his whole year.
But when it comes to
space,
a private and public sector of space, that's what's so interesting. You got SpaceX, and then we have, like China, we have the U.S. government. We have all of these different private and public sectors coming together. What's going on, Zabrowski?
We truly have no fucking clue what's going on. This story took me straight. This is the reason why I started talking about the secret space programs, because this story took me like one of those fun rabbit holes. All of a sudden, I'm in front of Ben Carson at HUD asking where the ultra-terrestrials are.
To be honest, if you're going to hide extraterrestrial truth behind one person's eyes, it's Ben Carson.
This is what I'm saying. This is why I think it actually tracks. So this story came out yesterday. Finally, a story that came out before we did the episode, so we could talk about it. This comes from the NBC News. This is one version of the story. Former Israeli space security chief says extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it.
Okay.
Now, this comes from, I don't know how to talk. Like, it's both, like, I'm certain that the audience at home is like, oh, Henry's going to be so excited about this news. He's going to be fucking ripped up hard for it.
No, because you can't win with your people, Henry.
No.
This is why UFO-nuts? I don't know whatever you guys want to be called anymore.
Disclosure, all it does is ruin people's lives because it's you're ruining the mystery.
You know what we're going to call you? Disclosures. Disclosures.
Disclosures.
You guys are so horny for it. And then whenever it happens, but then you guys all get mad. And then you're like, well, it can't be real. It's like, I don't understand how to win with you people.
I won't believe it because the government's saying, even though the government is the one that has the secrets in the first place, and I'm trying to get the secrets from the government, but I don't believe the government.
I'm going to blow my freaking butt off.
But this story, soft disclosure, has been more like the story of like when you get a girl home for the first time and in high school or something. I don't know if this is still a phenomenon anymore. And then you're like so excited to see the boobies. And then when you unleash the boobies, it's just tissues. But guess what? By then,
that's the scene from Animal House.
You've already come.
Which is actually kind of a problematic scene. And then you can use the tissues to wipe up. So it's actually kind of a nice gift if you think about it.
Wrap it up. And
so my question here is,
but let me get into the story.
Can I just ask you though, because this is the question on everybody's mind, and I don't like to mention Donnie Trump, but do you think he could even keep the secret?
Well, let's unpack this a little bit.
Unpack it, please.
This comes from the article. A quote-unquote galactic federation has been waiting for humans to reach a stage where we will understand what space and spaceships are. This is according to Haim Eshed. I don't believe it's spelled Haim like the girl band. Aww. I don't believe it's pronounced that. I believe it is pronounced another way, but I'm not sure.
Well, he's an Israeli fellow, right?
Yes, he's the former Israeli space security chief, which we know that he is. I have now researched enough to see that his name has come up. It has been spelled Chaim, Chaim, in other reportings. New York Times has him in 2010 saying that he indeed was the space security chief.
So no stolen valor here. He really is. Okay.
He is an elderly man. I believe he is 87 years young, and he is writing a book that will be coming out. I have no clue. I know it is available over in Israel.
Okay.
That is called The Universe Beyond the Horizon, Conversations with Professor Haim Eshed, which is, I guess it is available in Europe. So this is kind of a teaser for it. And according to Eshed, he has met an entity from the other side, which does ring true with the story about a man named Paul Hellyer, who was technically he's a Canadian entrepreneur, politician, writer, and commentary. And he's the longest serving current member of the Privy Council of Canada, and he was the transport minister and the senior minister in the cabinet and minister of national defense. Who also said he's met an alien.
And of course, the minister of national defense. You think, oh, it's Canada, that must be a joke. You have any idea how many people are going there and trying to steal their poutine?
Do you have any
non-stop. They're still bowing down to the Queen, sure, but at the same time, Canadians, I don't mess with them. That's why I've said this, and I'll say it again. We need a wall on the northern border.
These fucking moose are not turning themselves into furniture.
Absolutely not.
And they got to do it. But all right, so this story is, this is the words of Mr. Ashed.
Okay.
The unidentified flying objects have asked not to publish that they are here. Humanity is not ready yet, even though he just did.
He just published a book.
He just did.
What's the kind of mean thing to do then?
He says that they are seeking to understand the fabric of the universe, right? And that they have an underground base in the depths of Mars where there are American astronauts and alien representatives all working together.
Okay.
All right? There is an agreement between the U.S. government and the aliens. They sign a contract with us to do experiments here. Who? Probably President Eisenhower.
Okay.
If this story is true, right?
I thought, wasn't Truman something to do with the bomb there and all of that?
He didn't want to meet with the Greys. They creeped him out.
Okay.
Ashed added, this is the truth, I guess.
I mean, Eisenhower looked more like a Grey than Truman, so perhaps that makes sense.
Eisenhower knew a deal when he had one.
Eisenhower was a great president.
Ashed added that President Donald Trump was also aware of the extraterrestrials' existence and had been on the verge of revealing information, but was asked not to in order to prevent mass hysteria, which he's great at.
I'm not sure if that's what he doesn't want to do.
They have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach its stage where we will understand in general what space and spaceships are.
Okay, this is my question then, Henry. I know that we've gotten technology. We're doing pretty well with tech, right? I think so anyway.
No.
But people, as a biological form, are using this tech, and I know TikTok quite well because of Travis Morningstar from Abeling's Top App. They're using it to show pictures of dead babies, perhaps, or they're using it to
kiss them and act like they're alive.
Just absolutely horrible footage of them singing songs that they have no right singing.
It's like a weird 6-year-old woman with no teeth. She's showing her breasts and wiggling to some weird country song about how she'd rather die than give up her baby.
Just fine, totally fun. So how far away are we? I mean, what do the aliens want to see from us?
We're 6 months out.
We're 6 months out before the aliens are like, they've matured enough now where we can talk to them. Unless these aliens are just as dumb as we are.
I believe they're waiting for season 3 of Orville from Seth MacFarlane, which is, they said, it was a huge get for them. They're so excited they could finally be to me and then we got these aliens coming to take my fucking acting work.
He's very successful.
He's incredibly successful. So, okay, let's talk about this story. This is now, again, so this is the second time a former member of a very highfalutin part of another country's government that has said, not only do alien exists,
right,
but I've met one, I've had lunch with one, I'm dating one. They're essentially they are saying that we have been in bed with aliens and have been working them for a long period of time, ultra-terrestrials. I don't want to offend anybody. But what it does is point towards every single cockamamie piece of shit alien literature. I have been forced to fold. Not even forced. I've done it to myself.
Yes.
I folded so much of this content into my mind.
To stop many times to stop reading about UFOs. But
it's derailed whole shows.
Yeah.
It's ruined whole series.
It can't derail this one because technically you've created the rail, which is this conversation.
It's capitalism. That's what I've done. I've made my own pipe. Yes. But this guy, it is weird to have these topics all kind of floating to the surface. And this goes straight to the secret space program. It goes back to the same idea that there is a whole other system that these people are all serving.
Right.
That has got aliens and humans talking cats. You got the Jellicle division, and they can't you don't even expect them to reach a deadline because they all keep committing suicide to go to fucking cat heaven.
See, I like this. People talk about the globalist agenda. It's a catchphrase. It's been so politicized and watered down, and God knows what it even means. But
it means Jewish people.
You are taking this to the next level. You are saying it's an intergalactic agenda, which I think now there's something there that I might have to investigate.
Straight up, this is basically saying that there are space Jews and they're on our side.
Thank God for that. Why is it, and I don't know, maybe this is just me in the audience, you can think for yourself, I trust the Israeli man more than the Canadian just because I feel like Canadians are more fantastical in their thinking.
Yeah, because they believe in gnomes, and there was the one time they tried to elect a unicorn, and that was like a whole long story because they're like, it's just glued on. And another guy came around me like, I tell you what, if you really want to put a horn on a horse, I'll show you. What you got to do is here and there. And they all just argued about what they needed to do and how they wish they weren't there, that they were in their cabin and for the winter,
Meanwhile, the Israelis are very serious.
Very serious.
And I don't think that they're not having fun like that.
That's why let's start to unpack this. Okay. Number one, is this a psyop? Because as much as I want to say that this is real, I
It's NBC News. I mean,
I won't let myself say it.
Okay.
Well, he has said the words. I mean, Ashed has said the words out loud. I'm not saying that it's necessarily real, but let's say that he has now said these words. Let's say if it's not totally real, there's one option.
Okay.
It's some kind of psyop.
What would be the outcome, or what would be the end game of the psyop then? Just to keep people confused?
Either keep people confused, position Israel on the quote unquote side of the agenda that would end up having all of the most crazy, exotic weapons to ever exist. They have.
Man, I love rowing in this quicksand.
This is very intense.
Fun.
But the idea is like we have connections to the aliens, and technically we have is one of the deepest pockets in R&D that can possibly exist. We are trying to figure out how these orbs work. We're trying to figure out how to move through matter. We're trying to figure out how to project the mind into physical space, like literally make you think a thing and then make you appear where you're thinking. Where are you right now?
Horsey sauce. Ooh, I miss horsey sauce. Ooh, yes. I'm at Arby's.
You went straight to fucking Arby's.
Went straight to Arby's, my friend. I miss dine-in restaurants.
You can dine in an Arby's.
You can't.
COVID's not there.
Oh, it is. The beef doesn't kill it. Imagine if beef is what killed it.
I mean, I would be fine. I would be
you
fine.
You gotta throw beef at it.
It does. But so that's one, right? Or let's say then it is real. Like, so it's that's if it's all fake. Let's say it's real.
Okay.
And because that's what my first reaction to was like, Trump would never be able to keep his fucking mouth shut.
That's what I was thinking.
But Trump's also a pussy, right? So in a way, if you really did show up, right, and all of the CIA guys, because this is also a part of the PSYOP, right? What if the intelligence community openly talks about aliens and all of this shit? Like, this is like a thing, but it's been such a long-running fake bit to have control over stupid presidents.
Right.
That now it has become real.
This has been going on since Bill Clinton was on the Tonight Show. He actually jokingly was like, I'm going to find out what happened. But then he was, he cigar popped Monica Lewinsky, and it was not. He was too busy, I guess. It's not easy being president.
He had to blow off some steam.
I guess so. He could have been much nicer to her, and we're team Monica Lewinsky.
Team Monica Lewinsky, and her purses are lovely. Got one for Jackie one year.
Good for her. She was crucified by the media.
But Bill Clinton is weirdly connected to all this because he actually exposed a thing called one of the memos of understanding between the various branches of our intelligence community, where they basically said we will prosecute people that sell drugs under the guise of the CIA if we could say that they are official agents of the CIA. So what they then did is so what you do, you just outsource it. And then you get all of your contractors and whatever they're the people that they use.
I am happy that all the contractors are aptly named, like Blackwater. Everything is so horrifying and scary. They are self-aware, and isn't that important?
I just think that it's more of that I think that they like to be scary.
And of course, Donald Trump, he can keep a secret, not to get too political here, but don't forget when Putin killed a couple of our guys over there in the Middle East, Trump didn't say anything.
Yep.
So he can keep secrets. And you're right. Maybe he was just completely and utterly scared shitless.
Well, let's say you're Fat Boy Trump. You're sitting in the fucking room. You are not good at this job.
You're watching your Fox and Friends.
You are very, very scared. You're super, super concerned about getting reelected. You are you're surrounded by the virus that you let rage throughout this whole country. You are a germaphobe yourself. So you are in a prison of your own making. And so you got this juicy intel to, there's aliens. But then all of a sudden, one walks in the room.
Oh, my goodness.
He can't even handle an Hispanic person. What is he going to do if someone walks in the room? It's like a full-on reptilian just being like, what if I make all of your nightmares come real? And then he can just show you. He can show you your inner hellscape. And then you just have to deal with it. And not only does he show you your inner hellscape, but then your uncomfortable feelings fill him up with energy and power. And the more he makes you uncomfortable, the stronger and stronger he is. I learned a lot from watching this Palladian girl on Instagram who's got a fucking wild OnlyFans.
Really?
I was looking at that shit. She does light work, but she also she's got a lot of jobs going on.
Well, you have to have a lot of jobs in this gig economy. And I just want to jump 50 years into the future right now for anyone listening in the year 2070. I know a lot of times people can be time canceled, where they said something maybe in 1981 that no longer holds true.
Time canceled.
I have decided that I'm going to say this right now. Humans and aliens, They should be allowed to marry.
They should be allowed to marry.
They should marry.
And
you can have hybrid babies.
Have a hybrid baby.
I'm that brave.
Oh, I'm with you, and I side you with the we call them Ella babies. With the Ella babies, I want the Ella babies. I want you to multiply, and I also think that we should have a Pleiadian senator.
You know what, Henry? Just a round of applause.
That was us slapping our tits together.
All right.
But this
so
story,
good thing we got ourselves covered for 50 years down the road.
But once you open up the creaky dungeon door to the story, you start to see that there are weird strings that attach this all the way down to this idea of a secret space program that is not just really about this. The secret space program that is being used to create an entire separate civilization. So what if there is indeed a world where aliens are working with the U.S. government and Israeli government? I don't know why it's just us. I don't know why they think it's just us. But let's say that this is all real and that you are somebody like a Jeff Bezos that not only because this is shit that's too hot for the president to know. This is stuff that's outside of the president's purview. But let's say you are a person like a Jeff Bezos that probably has multitude of serpentine connections deep within these pay-to-play guys. All of these are contractors. Like, look at Harold Pudoff. He started working for the Tom DeLonge because he started fucking paying him. So you can pay all of these old school, fucking intelligent, like shady-ass motherfuckers to just work for you. So let's say he has all these contacts.
Sure.
You know they're working on alien R&D, and they're already working on some form of Martian. They have a base in the middle of Mars, is what they're saying here. Which you don't know if it's real or not, because also, I'm not even talking about real, I'm talking about physically real. There are some of these, I think that there are, when they say that there is a base in the center of Mars, I think that's quite possibly that it is a psychic projection base, where it is not physically inside of the planet. It's like a workspace where they psychically project themselves, which is why I think...
That's a nice way to say a WeWork space.
That's closed.
WeWork closed.
Well, because of the lack of money.
I think that's actually a wonderful thing. You know, we're obviously telecommunicating to work or telecomming to work or whatever the hell it's called. Why not? Telecom all the way to Mars.
No, that's what they're saying. Is that maybe these quote-unquote euphonauts, maybe the people that pilot these things, aren't even here, that the orbs are just projections of their own mind. But as I was, to wrap up, Jeff Bezos has all these connections. Yes. He knows that this fucking new technology is coming down the pipe. He knows all this secret shit. So maybe there is a way he looks at this rock that we're all forced to be on by gravity, and he knows he's been pumping it for as many resources as possible, like the other people just like him that have just been endlessly farming our planet for resources until it's an empty husk. And then what they now know is that they have the technology to live in far space, and they will say, fuck you to us, and they will go up into space and they will leave us. They will create a breakaway civilization.
If everyone's a billionaire, then isn't no one a billionaire? And then what do they have to do? They have to hang out with each other? I don't think these people particularly want to hang out with anyone, let alone a fellow billionaire. So I think it might be their own hell. I think they might be creating hell.
They're going to go up there with literal slaves.
Well,
and if you look at this stuff, like there's another website. It's rocketlaunch.live. I was reading all this stuff.
This is pretty crazy.
This is talking about all the various rocket launches that we've shot over the year. And if you look up this concept, there's one, this little like the way to filter it, the classified payloads. You look at this shit and you see that we have these classified, both private and not, just going up into space all the time. We have no clue what's up there, really.
So just some of the list here for those that want to go to rocketlaunch.live. It really is interesting. So we have things like Chinese government. Then we also, the next day, SpaceX launches something. The following day, it'll be Astrospace launching something. Then we have the Russian military launching something December 13th. This is happening pretty much daily, sometimes twice a day. So, and some of these names for these launches, one is called Magneto, which is very scary. And the other one this is like the most ominous name ever for a scientific rocket launch. It is The Owl's Night Begins, which sounds like it's some bizarre fantasy film. But what the hell does that mean? And that's a launch by Rocket Lab.
Well, that's like one of those where we're going to fucking have to hear about it for years, because the owl is the symbol of Moloch, which is the symbol of Bohemian Grove. And they have literally, that's such a conspiratorial bird.
That's interesting. The Owl's Night begins. That's a Rocket Lab launch, December 12th at 1 o'clock in the morning. I believe that'll be out of New Zealand. It's a rocket launch to a dedicated mission for the Japanese government, evidently. So this stuff, it really, and we are getting to this tangible. This is no longer just a fantastical sort of science fiction plot point. It's happening. It's very real. And I wonder if Elon Musk just put that car out there in space to go park it in a future parking space.
Yeah, he's doing short-term parking.
He's just doing short-term parking, and I don't think that's right.
Honestly, I feel like we should all be allowed that then.
We should all get one car.
We should all get one car in
freaking
space.
Star, which I think somebody else probably bought that same Star, but I want a car in space.
I want a car in space. I want a toilet in space.
Although, oh my God, well, that's a dumb thought. But if there's no gravity, does the poop? How does that work? That's actually kind of scary.
I guess, yeah, you just shit everywhere.
Probably make you constipated, though.
Yeah, man, I'm not a fucking electrician. Who does this work?
So there's a lot of stuff going on with space, and who knows when they're going to decide to end it all. All right.
We're just looking at we have no fucking clue what this means. To me, I mean, obviously you could just say it's the crackpot mutterings of a man on his deathbed, which it might be.
It could be.
It
sure.
absolutely could be.
Why is that? It does. I guess when you have no more F's to give, you're about 80. That seems to be the going age or the average age of the people who are really talking about disclosure. Does their age? You know, the elderly haven't had a great run in the past couple of years. Does the age make it like, because back in the day it would be like, better respect him. He's been around for 80 years. He's done it.
He's wise.
He's wise. But now you realize, like, does he have some disease? Is it a mental breakdown? Is it early onset Alzheimer's? Or is he telling the truth?
But we own the pipes that send the internet to the rest of the world.
Sure.
Like, we own those physical pipes.
They are physical pipes.
We basically run space for the most part. I believe that we have a lot of competition with China, but we run the communications in lower space. We own, as the United States, I mean, like, we own all of these things.
We got
physically.
lower space.
We got lower space.
Okay.
So what does that mean? Like, we're in this place where they own all of the angles around the story. What if that's another hypothetical? Heimshot sits around and the CIA goes so far as to dress a person as an alien.
Well, this is
to meet these guys.
Isn't that what the Phoenix mayor did as a lark when the Phoenix Lights happened?
Yeah, he did. He did an offensive piece of comedy that he should have been canceled for.
I do love that this is your, like, Jimmy Fallon blackface moment, is you being like, well, he dressed a man up as an alien.
Fife Symington.
Fife Symington, the greatest name of any, I believe, mayor.
But what do you think about that? Isn't that crazy? What do you think? I really do think that at some point you could literally show up with a guy dressed up as fucking Klaxor that we've talked about for years, and he's like, hello, yes, excellent plums here. Never had a plum like an earth plum.
Obsessed with the plum lady, who very well may have been an alien, but
never
I think
forget the human connection.
I do think the audience was right that we have become so hardened that we just refuse to accept the love of a plum.
I get hardened. Sometimes I get too hard to sleep. I'll wake up from a dream with completely hard, and then I can't sleep.
So that's the great thing about this alien story, or the UFO story, or the just mysterious going-ons in outer space. We know it's happening. We know this has increased because we got the technology, and who knows what the future holds. All I know is strap in, strap on, and have a little fun.
Come on and get Gabe.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform that helps you stand out online. Yes, that's right. You don't have to smash your face with a hammer. You can just start a business. It's got everything you need on Squarespace, from securing your domain to building a professional site and showcasing your work all in one place. Let's say you want to show everybody how you can carve your ribs out of your lower abdomen so that you look more like a Ken doll. That's amazing. You can bring your vision to life with AI-powered design or curated templates, plus flexible editing tools that helps you create something that truly reflects your style, especially if you are somebody that is trying to corrupt the young men of America. That's what Squarespace is really going to help you. Squarespace makes it easy. It makes it easy for you to put all that together, and you just go to Squarespace and do it all. Thanks, Braden. Head to squarespace.com/left for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code LEFT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Summer schedules can get busy fast with camps, vacations, sports, family time. And, every single time Carmi eats a block of dark chocolate, we got to take her to the emergency room. You know how much time that takes. All right, IXL makes it easy to keep learning part of the routine in just a few minutes a day. IXL is an award-winning online learning platform that helps kids truly understand what they're learning, whether they're building math confidence, strengthening reading and writing skills, or reviewing science concepts. From pre-K through 12th grade, IXL offers personalized, interactive learning that adapts to each child's level and pace, which is great because Carmi has been really slow in biology, and Wendy has really been struggling with American history, mostly just because she doesn't agree with the way it's being taught. So it's really important. You make an impact on your child's learning. Wendy, as soon as she gets her chicken, she is ready for all of her lessons. And Carmi just really has to eat 5 or 6 bites of liver, beef liver, chicken liver, and then she can really get down to, I'm hoping this is the year she reads To Kill a Mockingbird. So really, IXL, thank you. Make an impact on your child's learning. Get IXL now. And Last Podcast on the Left listeners can get an exclusive 20% off at IXL membership when they sign up today at IXL.com/left. Visit IXL.com/left to get the most effective learning program out there at the best price.
All right, I know what you're thinking. I like to go banking, but I don't want to give to these big old banks all the time that cater to the 1%. Well, go ahead and get yourself hooked up with Chime. It's banking built for you, not just those rich jerks. And they got thousands of fee-free ATMs because why pay to get your own money? Chime is working for you, man. You get your Chime card, you're going to get travel perks, you're going to get into airport lounges, you're going to get those chicken thighs. Every time I go to an airport lounge, I get chicken thighs. And you know what I say whenever I see a plate of chicken thighs? Give me more. Chime's going to get you those chicken thighs in these lounges, all right? Sure, they could serve other types of meat, but why would you when chicken thighs are so delicious? Chime is not just smarter banking, it's the most rewarding way to bank. Join the millions who are already banking fee-free today. Head to chime.com/left. That's chime.com/left. It only takes a few minutes to sign up. Chime is a fintech, not a bank. Banking services for Chime Card provided by Chime's bank partners. Optional products and services may have fees or charges. Stated cashback for Chime Prime only. No minimum balance required. For more information on travel perks, go to chime.com/disclosures.
And get wise.
Well, this is a story that I have to talk about because it reminds me of an old stand-up comedy routine I used to do.
You remember those days?
I love stand-up because you stand there and you do it upwards.
And you feel
the love of the audience.
Or the hate inside that drove you to do it in the first place.
Just always so much love that drives people to get into this entertainment industry. This is the headline. Masked Too Tall Bandit robs another Southern bank in a string of 16 suspected heists. This is one of the issues that you'll never understand when you're of normal size. I'm average. Oh. Yeah, you know what that means? You blend in. You can get away with anything. You hide in plain sight. I'm 6'7". This guy was 6'6". This man doesn't realize he's in the top 1 percentile of all humans with that size.
You're a fucking
so
supremacist.
It makes it super easy.
You're a height supremacist.
No, what I'm saying is this is actually very dangerous.
You just called him the top 1% of humankind?
No, because of height, you freaking putz. Yes. No, you've really made me go there. You putz.
Wow.
Yes, because he is 6'7" is 1% of 99% of people are smaller.
You're the Bernie Sanders of height. Bernie Sanders was against the 1%.
I am so
1%.
Bernie, that was about economics. That was not about height. He wasn't talking about height. But he may have been, because we can't get a freaking break around here. So this guy...
Yeah, you do. You guys get all the chicks and you get to play sports.
Oh, my freaking Lord. If you have any idea how difficult it is on the human body to play sports, the pressure that goes into it, immediately setting everything up, everything I did until this very moment was a failure because I did not play sports at a level that would have made me millions.
You mean to tell me you suffer from your potential? You suffer from your opportunities?
No one expected you to do anything. And the fact that you are doing something means that... Henry...
I win then.
That's what I'm saying. I was supposed, no matter what.
Oh, you're supposed to do so much
more. No matter what, everyone's like, oh, wow, yeah, you're a great
That's
broadcaster.
the other comedy
Just
bit that
one of
used
the
to do.
greatest broadcasters of all time. But why didn't you play football?
That's the
Why
other
couldn't you play
comedy bill.
basketball?
Do you remember that when the janitor came up to you and said, 6'7"? If I was you, I'd play basketball. And then you'd say, do your punchline.
You just be a taller janitor.
See? That's another bit.
I actually did have some great stand-up bits. And some point, we'll probably do them again. So November 27th, it was Black Friday. But this guy is like, those deals aren't good enough for me. So he decided to go and strike a United Community Bank in Etowah, North Carolina. Again, the dude is 6'7". He's a white dude. He's roughly 40 years old. He's roughly 200 pounds. Humble freaking brag. And I just want to tell this guy one thing. You do this to the 6'6" white man, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get somebody innocent arrested because there's 8 of us.
There's
8 of us.
There's plenty of you.
No, there's Dirk Nowitzki, me, and this guy.
Yeah, but they're all so much more successful.
This
Dirk
guy's a bank robber.
He should play basketball.
But what I'm saying is, anyone who is 6'6" in North Carolina, be careful because you're about to match a description of a serial bank robber, and you're going to get incarcerated. And what's the opposite of fantasy?
Nightmare.
Nightmare. I have nightmares about being in solitary. You know how big those are? 7x8 or 6x8. I'm 6'7". I would be in a tomb.
Do you ever think about the crimes that you did that forced you to be in solitary?
Apparently I'm a bank robber in North Carolina.
But I don't think they put him necessarily in solitary.
No, they won't. Not until he gets arrested, although he very well will be looking at some extremely heavy time. This is what the FBI wrote. They say, in each robbery, the suspect is heavily disguised with a mask, coat, and gloves. What? Me talking, which can't hide. You're 6'6".
What if he's 2 guys?
That would be incredible. The FBI continues, he is armed with a black handgun and often jumps over the teller's counter, which I have to say, good work.
Maybe he does play basketball.
And the FBI, I'm going to say this. What a paltry sum the FBI is offering to catch this 6'6" goon. Only $15,000.
Wow.
So you're going to have
he's
little
only
people
a robber.
go,
He just takes money.
Yeah, but you're going to go have little people start lassoing everyone who is 6'6", be like, I got him.
I can't wait to lead a bunch of you bigs around like an elephant line into the stocks.
You can only push a man so far before that man becomes a monster.
Yep, it takes us a little bit to take a sensible man and make him do unsensible things.
So we don't know who this guy is. We're going to keep you up to date. But if you are in North Carolina and you happen to know one of my people, the 6'6" and over, this guy, no matter how much he freaking masked up, you can't change that.
This is North Carolina, right?
This is North Carolina.
This is my advice to our listeners in North Carolina. If you're above 6 foot, I'm going to say just be careful, right? If you're above 6'3", I say you voluntarily go to the police station and tell them it's not you.
Not me. Well,
and the way you do that is that you go.
I would say
you
do not
like,
do that.
No, definitely do that. And the way to always prove that you're not a thief is that you do. And you'll be like, officer, it couldn't possibly be me. I'll show you. Stick them up. Stick them up.
But you are actually giving advice where a lot of times police officers will
stick them up there, sure. Stick them up there, you big teller. Yeah.
So I think a mistake that you're making here is cops usually, not because they're lazy as a profession, but humans are just a little bit lazy. Cops oftentimes will just be like, oh, whoever approaches me, we're just going to be like, so you did it?
Not if you are yelling it.
But then they're going to get you in the interrogation room.
Have an alibi right away.
But see, then they might just be able. And what's the alibi? I was sitting at home playing video games all alone.
Yeah, I was jerking off behind the fucking bowling store. Here's the jerking off behind the bowling alley. Here's a picture.
Okay.
And so what I say is several afternoons in a row.
Be careful.
Take several pictures of yourself with newspapers and then go in there and be like, this is not me. And it will not be me. Well, and you will not arrest me for this.
You might get arrested for the public masturbation. I don't think you can jerk off behind any public building.
I think technically if you bring a little like one of those, those Chinese like the folding like things, the folding boards that you just get dressed behind, like like if you're like getting into
what
fancy
are those called?
lingerie,
a cabaret or something. There's some specific name for those.
It's like one of those fold out things. Hey, you just bring one of those. Then you're not private anymore. Your privacy. Once you get a little square, is that true?
I just feel like you've recommended.
SideStoriesLPOTL@gmail.com. If you're a lawyer, if you bring a curtain outside and form it around yourself, can you jerk off outside?
That's actually a very good question, and we will have to get that answered. SideStoriesLPOTL@gmail.com. Thank you so much in advance for your unbelievable expertise. Don't do what Henry said. Never go to the police. Just don't talk to them at all, because whenever you're talking to the cops, things aren't going great, whether you be a victim or whether you be a perpetrator or whether you just have to go and get your license renewed. It's never fun.
Trick is, again, you can be arrested for your words, but if you pantomime, they don't got anything on you.
I wonder if that's why the French enjoy that so much. It's the safest form
of their crimes.
You think the French are nice? My God, I love the French people, but they are very strict.
There's nothing stopping a mime from sucking your dick against your will.
Well,
because next thing you know, because he acts like, he's chasing a fly or something.
Right, but the next thing you know, that's happening.
Yeah, and then he's like, but then, by then you're already getting your dick sucked.
So you might as well just go with it.
You've paid money to see a mime?
Well, we have a dick-sucking story here in 1 second, but it looks like, Henry, you want to go to Sweden, and then we got this great Hungarian story.
This one story I want to talk about real quick is that the Volga Maniac was a serial killer in Russia, actually got captured. I just want to say this. Cool. He had been wanted for about 8 years, from 2011 to 2012. He murdered 26 elderly women in a style very similar to the Boston Strangler, where he would act as he would basically dress in a he was a plumber, but he would say that he was there to fix the pipes.
Oh my goodness, but it doesn't end so well.
No, but then he would mercilessly strangle them with whatever object he had around the house.
If he would have made love to them, that would have been so much better, because a 7-year-old gal, she has a plumber fantasy, sure.
He did make love to some of them. That's why there was DNA samples were left.
Well, that's not good. Okay.
No, it's not good.
I didn't know we were in a not good story. Okay.
But he confessed. I just wanted to say that out loud, just so you guys know we're covering this. Eventually, we'll cover this. But it seems that this man, Radik Tagarov, he was. But there's very chilling CCTV footage of him basically going inside of an apartment building and trying doors and seeing who would respond. He had like a plumber's uniform and a bunch of shit. Very scary.
The only advice that I have learned after 10 years of doing a true crime show is keep the door locked just in case. Richard Chase, for some reason, that just sticks in my head, where he would try to turn the lock. If it was locked, he said, God says don't go in there. If it's not locked, they just walk in. Also, the simplest thing you can do, just little lock.
A plumber's never just showing up to look at your toilet without you calling the plumber first. It's actually difficult to get a plumber.
Oh, it's so much harder to get a plumber than you would imagine. And it tends to be an emergency situation whenever you need one. All right, so I guess that's, you know what? I'm going to say, not to step on any famous actor or director toes, but that was good news, because he is arrested.
He is gone. Also, an update. Apparently, because we were discussing on, I forgot what episode, we were talking about how the idea of putting balls in a butthole and how, what would that be called? And we said oystering and grape nutting. But apparently another term for that was called dogs in a bathtub.
That is fucking disgusting. And I'm not talking about it. And I hate it. And you're gross. Whoever sent that in, that's disgusting. Dogs in a bathtub. So you're telling me, like, so you could, if I ever see a text from anyone on anybody's phone that's been like, hey, let's go put some dogs in the bathtub, and then I'm going to look at them and say, do you have dogs, or are you going to go put your testicles in somebody's butthole, which is also fine.
Hey, 6 of one, half a dozen of another.
Well, anyway, let's move on just quickly here. We have a Swedish woman. She was arrested for allegedly holding her son captive. This is very Fritzl-esque, although I don't believe there was nearly the sexual abuse, because that Fritzl story is freaking disgusting.
It's also called the Devil's Inch.
The balls in the butthole thing?
Yes.
Thank you for the update. So a Swedish woman was arrested. She held her son captive for nearly 30 freaking years. Talk about making a little Ed Gein of your own. The dude is now in his 40s. He was found in a basement. He was in somewhat of a wounded state. According to
he was covered with sores and piss, and he was 40 years old, 40 years young.
40 years.
Because 40 is the new 20.
I think we can say 40 in his case is the new 70, though. Mm-hmm. He's not doing well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was on the floor in a blanket. He was toothless, unable to speak, and covered in sores and injury. According to the prosecutor, they say he is now in the hospital. And I know that she says, and I know that he needed surgery. So,
well, they took him out of school when he was 12.
Oh my goodness.
And then I guess he was forced to just be home. We've seen this. I don't know why.
I'll never understand it.
I don't know why this happens so often, because again, just like, don't you want to get rid of your kids?
I don't. It really
get them out of here.
I don't know one, and this is, I guess, why I'm surrounded by relatively good people. I don't know one person who has a kid now who isn't already plotting for them to be out of the house.
Just get them.
And I know people with
out of
infants.
here. Just like literally brand new children that are like 18 years.
18 years. But they're already planning on what they're going to do after that kid moves out.
But
this
apparently
woman,
the social worker that found him had worked with him in the past, and she said that she hadn't seen him in about 28 years.
So I would, at some point, don't you got to do a house check?
I mean, at some point, I feel like I guess you can legally pull your kid out of school, especially for religious reasons. And
Sure.
you can do this kind of.
If they were homeschooling him, I also think the neighbors should see him every now and again.
And this is Sweden, where they like thank burglars for showing them how like vulnerable their stores are.
I did not know that. I don't know why that's my Swedish accent. But anyway, this is according to a police spokesman. They say, we are looking into how long the son may have been imprisoned, but we assume it's been a long period of time. And you know what? I know to assume makes an ass of you and me, but in this case, they might be onto something.
But apparently, he acted like he recognized the woman, which must have been such a sight. Walking into the apartment for the first time when she apparently was rancid, filled with piss and shit and all sorts of, and then open up and then just see like a toothless, diapered 40-year-old man who's like,
oh my God. Oh, it's so, honestly, it reminds me of the film Tusk. He might have well have been just turned into a walrus. This poor man, he is still 40 years old, so he's got a long life if he can. Hopefully he doesn't have Stockholm syndrome.
And apparently,
and hopefully
the
they
thing
can
is,
get him treated and medically cleared to be alive.
They wanted to put him on Masked Singer, but he was just like a dead giveaway. Because every single time he'd go up there and you just hear him go, it just immediately go, oh, let us stop where I belong. Mommy.
Oh my God.
Need milkies.
I think the talking radish is the kid who was stuck in his parents' basement for 30 years. You nailed it.
Mommy need milkies.
Well, very, very appropriate, Henry. Thank you for that.
Hey.
You know, I rip around in the bed. You might actually not be surprised by this, but I'm a restless sleeper. I roll back and forth like an alligator with a wounded deer. But something's changed in my house, and it's thanks to Boll and Branch. You know, people keep their bedding way longer than they should. It's because people are afraid of change. Not me. I burn my sheets once a week, but I don't need to. Because Boll and Branch's signature organic cotton sheets, pillows, blankets, and comforters are all designed to be breathable, incredibly soft. They get better over time. Start with the signature sheets. You're going to buy 2 sets so you can rotate them. Come on, you're going to want to. The moment you get into bed, you'll notice a difference. I know I did. I just got fresh from the bath. I was fully lotioned. And sliding into those sheets kind of felt like, to be honest, I felt like the luckiest pasta filling in the whole world. All right, they're really good. You will like them. You will feel like a brand new laid chicken. Which is, we're all going for it. Just trying to be a hot chick again. Sleep cooler this summer with Boll and Branch during their annual summer event. For a limited time, get 20% off site-wide at bollandbranch.com/left with code LEFT. That's Boll and Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/left. Code LEFT to take 20% off. bollandbranch.com/left, code LEFT. Exclusions apply.
Call me a squirrel, 'cause I'm covered in acorns. That's right. So many people are focused on where their money is today. And Acorns is the financial wellness app that cares about where your money is going tomorrow. Let Acorns work for you. You put acorns in the ground and you're gonna get trees tomorrow. That's right, investments. And with the Acorns potential screen, you could find out what your money is capable of. I always do that. I'm like, I want to invest in something that I like. Let's say cheeseburgers. Okay? That's kind of hard to do. Acorns will help you find a cheeseburger that is right for you. So sign up now, and Acorns will boost your new account with a $5 bonus investment. Wow! Join the over 14 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $27 billion with Acorns. Head to acorns.com/left or download the Acorns app to get started. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 2 compensation provided. Potential subject to various factors such as customer
customers' accounts, age, and investment settings. Does not include Acorn's fees. Results do not predict or represent the performance of any Acorn's portfolio. Investment results will vary. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/left.
It's summertime, baby. And you know what that means. You're going to go to Quince and you're going to get yourself some new clothes. Something happened to me by accident recently. I had a nice little Quince mistake. It was Father's Day, and we wanted to get Julie's dad something nice, so naturally we went to Quince. We looked around, and we were like, oh, look at this 100% organic cotton mesh stitch button-up sweater polo. I think Bob's really going to like this. So we get it, and we buy it, and then you know what happened? A little fudge, a little mistake. Accidentally sent it to our house instead of Bob's house. Julie's like, oh, I'll just get a refund from Quince and we'll mail Bob another one. I was like, oh, okay, that sounds nice. But, maybe I should just see it first. She pulls it out. I was like, whoa, look at that. It's like a button-down polo with nice little holes in it. It's breathable. It's not bad. I think I'm going to wear this to Jazz Fest this weekend. Wore it to Jazz Fest. Got 3 comments. One was by a lady. Not bad, Quince. So get your hiney over to quince.com and treat yourself good and feel good. Look good this summer. Make your summer wardrobe easier. Go to quince.com/last for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. It gets hot up there. That's QUINCE.com/last for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/last. Look like a prince in your Quince, you jerks.
So anyway,
there's this story maybe we should cover real quick. Do we got time?
Sure.
First of all, we did get an update from people that said that they knew the people that removed the original monolith. And we got wrong. The thing that we got wrong was the leave no trace. When they were overheard saying leave no trace when they were tearing down, because they actually shot video of themselves tearing down the monolith in Utah, was that is we're dumb. We're not outside people. So
we can't be.
I'm just not. I've never been an outside person.
No, I was stunned today when my phone freaked out on me and was like, don't leave your house. And I said, phone, can we just not?
I'm not going anywhere. But basically the term comes from in camping. You're not supposed to leave anything behind in any trace. So what this basically said, he removed the monolith, this person. This comes from a viewer. This comes from a listener email. He cited in leave no trace principles such as tire marks on the desert ground and people shitting everywhere because there's no bathroom. So he said the biggest problem with the monolith is that when the one that was in Moab, people went to go find it.
Right.
And then they were stuck out there for hours and they had to shit. So it got filled with human shit.
They made a big mess out of it, which is why a lot of people were upset. But these monoliths are now popping up a lot of places. And apparently there's like an artist who, he's the most famous artist. He's capitalizing on the global fascination. He is selling a monolith for $45,000.
Don't buy it. Don't buy it. That's not good for $45,000. I think that you can make your own monolith.
Yeah, apparently the dude's name is Matty Moe. He's taking credit for any of the metal monoliths found to this point, but they did post sales.
He's just saying bullshit. This is the first one to do it. If you look at Sylvan Slacks, SYLVAN Slacks, SLACKS, they basically said straight up, we didn't want to remove the Utah monolith, but they wanted to do it to save the sanctity of that part of the desert.
Yeah, they're talking about bighorn sheep and doing all of that stuff.
Yes, but we don't know. There was another one pop up, and then there was another one torn down by a bunch of MAGA morons that fucking tore it down, like saying a bunch of slurs about how we don't want Mexicans or aliens in America. That was one thing. They tore down a monolith and put up a cross.
I guess that's a proper extension of that kind of short-sighted thinking. So yeah, don't buy one for $45,000.
Don't do that. Don't tear one down. Why don't you just enjoy it and stop shitting where it is?
Just shit a couple of feet away. Or if you're going to shit, do what you do with your dog. Pick it up. Which is disgusting, and no one really wants to do that.
But these fucking little mouth breather little pieces of fuck that tore down the other one.
Everyone always makes fun of the mouth breather, but isn't that how you're supposed to breathe?
Yeah, I do it with my nose.
Well, but... And that isn't the mouth, is it?
I choose to breathe out through my mouth if I need a cooling, refreshing, meditative breath.
I've been trying to do that lately. It doesn't work for me. There's something about inhaling more oxygen that somehow gives me more, like, just I inhale the world like Kirby.
Live from your grave.
All right, before we get to Hero of the Week, this is my personal favorite story of the week because it shows what we call the worst human trait. Hypocrisy. We're going to go to Hungary for this. Insert your jokes here. Oh, aren't we always in Hungary? You guys get it.
Fuck you.
Joseph Sauser. He is
Hellyer. It's Shajer, which I think stands for, I guess it means full of shit in Hungarian.
Well, yeah, he's just a total schmuck. He's an anti-gay Hungarian politician. He resigned from the European Parliament this past Sunday after being caught. And when we say anti-gay, this is a man who this guy is just brutal, as far right as you can get when it comes to, this guy would go out there and be advocating for tiring gay people, which they have done in Africa and things like that. This person is really despicable. He was caught by police after fleeing a 25-man orgy through a window. So he was fucking 25 dudes. The cops show up.
Damn.
And he jumps out of the window of, quote, a private party. The police found
that's the thing.
him.
They keep saying, like, there's something about the term about attended a 25-man orgy.
Yeah,
which
like he just showed up.
No, like attended sounds like, there might have been an invitation. There must have been. It must have been kind of fancy.
I bet you there was.
And hors d'oeuvres, like that kind of thing.
Those would get messy.
But when does the orgy begin?
Well, as soon as he shows up, apparently, the police found Schnauzer, whatever, and 24 other naked men at the gathering, including diplomats. This man, again, just to clarify, I don't give a shit. I hope he has so much cum inside of him it requires a pumping.
This is the best part of his life.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that he's gay. I love that he is fucking get fucked, covered in cum, slurp up all the jizz, fucking love all the balls.
Sure.
Make other people feel good.
Have a good oystering time yourself.
Get all the dogs in the bathtub.
But much like Roy Cohn here in the States, this man was actively tried to harm the very community. Obviously, he enjoyed being a part of.
But how do you, as the number one, you were organizing this 25-man gay orgy, first of all, because that's got to be a really select list.
That's hard.
And you know that that's not the only right-wing member that was in that party, probably.
No,
I
definitely
imagine
not.
If he is invited, there must be other people that must be okay with it, because how do they all stand the fact that he shows up? It's like, can you still get hard for it? I guess men were easy.
Well, it's a little tricky, though, because even with Roy Cohn, he would go and eat at a lot of the gay diners in the East Village, and people were like, you got to get him out of here. But he just kind of sat there very quietly, very meekly, and they just sort of allowed him to exist. This is according to the police. They really don't mince any words here. The newspaper quoted the local police as saying, quote, "We interrupted a gangbang."
Yeah, I bet you they didn't arrive at intermission. Yeah, they showed up in the middle of the gangbang.
Yes, of course, this guy, he fronted the Fidesz. I'm sure I'm butchering all of this, but he fronted Fidesz. It's in the European Parliament. They wanted to rewrite Hungary's constitution to, quote, "protect the institution of marriage as the union of a man and a woman and 25 other men," and just a bunch of fun.
Just hors d'oeuvres and lube and just enjoying themselves. That's what it needs to be.
This guy also...
One man should be married to only 24 other men.
That's it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. So this guy, he was so freaked out, he climbed out of the first floor window.
I love this public prosecutor office said, a passerby reported to the police that he had seen a man fleeing along the gutter. He was able to identify the man. The man's hands were bloody. It is possible that he may have injured while fleeing. Narcotics were found in his backpack.
Oh.
The man was unable to produce any identity documents. He was escorted to his place of residence, because he's lucky, because then he identified himself as what he said he was an MEP, which I believe is their version, like basically saying like, I'm of your government.
Yeah, he had a diplomatic passport. He said that he was present to quote the private party and apologized after the police asked for my identity. This is him. He says, "After the police asked for my identity, since I did not have ID on me, I declared that I was an MEP. The police continued the process and finally issued a verbal warning and transported me home." That is cute. They were just like, shame it.
How dare you?
We are in a pandemic. You cannot have 23 men. Yes. 24 men. That's too much.
But that's what I love about European police, is that they're not really shaming him about the gay orgy part, is that he just broke COVID protocol.
This is what he has to say. He says, "I deeply regret, not being anti-gay. No, not the 25-man gangbang." He says, "I deeply regret violating the COVID restrictions It was irresponsible on my part. I am ready to stand for the fine. And this guy is such a piece of shit hypocrite. He says this matter is, quote, strictly personal to him. And he says, I ask everyone not to extend it to my homeland or to my political community. Meanwhile, of course, he has been extending his worldview and
on everyone,
persecuting people who don't live up to it. And the man, if you see a picture of him, he is the scariest. Woo! I am horrified of this dude, and you can imagine the things he was up to.
God, I just don't know how you fuck this guy, guys. How you fucking this guy?
They might all be down
Same
with the
thing
clown,
with Lindsey
bro.
Graham, man. Why are we fucking this guy?
Well, apparently he has a very nice boyfriend. Our associate that we know from DC has flown with him multiple times, and evidently he's a very nice man.
Oh, I've heard he's a laugh riot, but guess what, man? Maybe you guys should cut him off until he starts being real.
Until he starts being real. All right, so there you go, a little hypocrisy talk. And let's go on with someone who is not a hypocrite. As a matter of fact, let's do Hero of the Week. It has come, finally the time has arrived, where Guy Fieri can sit atop the table, sit atop the throne that he always belongs to, which is hero.
Everyone wrong.
He is better than the United States government. He has raised more than $21 million in 7 weeks to assist unemployed restaurant workers. Yes, it's kind of sad that we need Guy Fieri, but we do, and thank God for him. So Fieri started the Restaurant Employee Relief Fund. This is awesome. He is giving roughly 43,000 people. They're receiving $500 grants. He has also produced a documentary, Restaurant Hustle 2020. So he is doing all of this.
I will say,
for a good cause, which is people and business.
Unfortunately, his new, I don't like the at-home version of the Triple G.
I have said this, I think maybe I was talking on Kind of Fun, the wrestling podcast, but I don't even know how to bridge this subject with Guy.
Yeah.
I love that he has a son.
I love that his son
and I love
is
his son.
involved.
No problem.
I like that they're together. I'm glad that you were there with your father.
I can't do it. I don't know why. Children, and it just ruins it.
I don't like any child involved in anything.
I don't like it. So I hopefully things get back to normal. Give your kid a spinoff show.
But have you seen what they are doing with Triple G? That's the only thing. But again, the only thing is
Triple G is holding its own.
No, I like Triple D. Triple G is doing the one where they are making their own meals. He's having the contestants make their own meals and then try it themselves and then describe their dishes to distance judges.
Triple D is doing this thing. By the way, Guy, you're still the hero of the week.
Hero of the week.
Yeah, but of course this is media and everything is horrible.
As fans, we're allowed to critique.
You know what? We are every now and again allowed to critique, and we love you, Guy.
We love you. Continue to watch it.
But Triple D, they're doing a thing where the viewers submit. And they're showing that kind of the production side of it.
Like it's
and
missing
maybe just
the tension. I'm missing everybody being nervous about Guy being there, his star quality. I'm missing the hunch.
Well, and I'll tell you one thing.
I'm missing all of the different rib stick and meals that we could see.
And Guy, he is classic Guy. He has not changed, and he's helping the people out very much because I forget what it was, but he had a piece of bacon in his hand, and he asked the guy. He says, "Where does this come from?" And he says, "And don't say the pig, because I bet you he's heard that 1,000 times before when he's holding bacon. Be like, where does it come from?" And they're like, "It's a pig." And then he has to be like, "I hate you," but he said, "Don't say a pig." And then the guy say where it was locally gotten from.
Wow.
Isn't that nice? So Guy Fieri, thank you so much for helping out people. And God knows, man, again, we know so many folks are suffering out there right now.
Oh, my God.
If you're in the restaurant business, this is a Henry and Ben promise. We will eat double. Next year, every restaurant I go to, I don't even got to eat it, but I will order double just to help.
I'll do this. If you're in LA and you got restaurants and we could possibly take meals out of I want to support your fucking restaurant. I want to buy meals from the good places around LA. If you got good shit to sell, let us know because we would love to sample some of this. We're trying to keep as many of you guys open as humanly possible. And
$80 minimum order. $80. I promise you an $80 minimum order.
Well, to be honest, I mean that's just Postmates now in general because I do fucking at least a 40% tip because you know when it comes down to it, if you're coming to my house, if I can afford you coming to my house, I'm going to tip the hell out of you.
I tip a lot, and then also there's a strange charge that I found Grubhub has added.
Oh no,
I don't know where it came from.
You
but
just can't look at it. That's why I put it on the credit card, not the debit.
I don't look at them. But anyway, thank you, Guy.
Guys, seriously though, send me these recs because I would love to support the fuck out of you, like a big old bra and take these sweaty breasts that is your food, your big old floppy heavy breasts that are your food. I will support them with my hands and my mouth.
That's very nice of you. Wow, never say you're not a humanitarian. Humanitarian first.
Yeah, I'm a humanitarian. I'm a humanitarian. That's everything. I'm always thinking about how to support the girls.
They absolutely.
And boys.
Sure. All right. Well, let's get to some emails.
Here's a listener email. So in your episode about the crystal skulls, you guys mentioned Carrot Top. I live in Las Vegas. I used to work laid off due to COVID. What a time to be alive. I wish I could fucking pay for a meal from you. At a restaurant called Jing in downtown Summerlin. Summerlin is a fancy suburb-esque area of Las Vegas. In case you didn't know, and downtown Summerlin is essentially an outdoor shopping mall. The reason I'm telling you this is because Carrot Top is a very frequent regular at Jing. He is there multiple times a week. I also find his appearance to be off-putting, but to each their own.
Come on.
I mean, he's just a man of his own making.
Absolutely. You got to stand out in this crazy world.
I haven't necessarily met tons of celebrities, but I live and work in Vegas, so it happens. And as far as celebrities go, Carrot Top is definitely pretty cool and normal. He usually comes in alone and sometimes with one or two other people and always sits at the bar. You really wouldn't even notice he's there or who he was unless you were looking for him.
This is just a story about Carrot Top being a human being.
But guess who also is a very frequent regular at Jing?
Who?
O.J. Simpson. He's there multiple times a week.
It's Carrot Top and O.J. Simpson at the same restaurant, just hanging out.
They're just like two ships in the night.
What do you do? True question. What do you do when OJ sits down? Because I have had a situation. I did one.
You move your blonde wife to another table.
You go away. You go to the farthest possible table. But we all think we're going to confront somebody, right? Like I've done this before where, because we're in the entertainment world, sometimes people do things publicly and you're like, that is really stupid. And then you see them at a party and the only thing you do is like, hey, you never.
Yeah, you go.
Hey,
thank you.
You do you. I'm gonna do me over here, and
where the bathroom is, Mr. Penn, Sean Penn.
Wish you the best. But when OJ sits down, I feel like I would want to say something, like at the very least, be like, no, not like take a knife away, like something has to happen.
Unfortunately, I remember when he was staying at the hotel that we were staying at for my wedding, and I remember not knowing it until thankfully we'd already left because I know for a fact that if I had saw him, simply because my own fucking shithead nature, I would have ended up either taking a picture of him, and I know it would have ruined everything.
Yeah.
He's
out there in St. Pete's.
He's in Vegas, and he goes shuttles back and forth.
Wow. Well, of course, Vegas is where he got into a bit of a kerfluffle, which is why he ended up in prison, because you can kill a white woman.
But never steal a trophy.
Never steal your own trophy. That will get you incarcerated. All right.
And here's
very interesting.
Here's one more little letter. A good friend of mine was working security on the last night of a festival, the Oregon County Fair.
Oh, dude, I miss county fairs. Okay.
They got into this security in the last night of the festival, and it ran into the early morning hours.
Okay.
She was working on letting cars in and out of the festival when the medics came by with a man on a stretcher who was covered in human excrement. He seemed agitated, but a medic in full PPE was holding his hand and talking him down. My friend asked one of the other medics what happened, and they said that a woman had come to them freaking out because she had been using the toilets and heard something sloshing around in them. These are not your regular porta potties. These are what are called the six-pack, and they're basically a structure of 6 toilets built over a large hole in the ground where all the waste is gathered.
So there's one swimming poop for him.
Yep. And we're basically a structure of 6 toilets built over a large hole in the ground. This is supposed to be a more environmentally friendly method of waste disposal. I'm not sure how deep it is, but it's right by our stage, and come Sunday night, you can smell them from pretty much far away.
Yeah.
Anyways, the man had lowered himself into the 6-pack potty hole. I was down there just waiting around and talking to himself. Crew members are actually used to hearing stories of people trying to hide down there as a means to stay in the festival overnight.
What?
But this case was different.
Hold on. Who is performed? If they got Leonard Skinner back from the dead, I would leave as opposed to stay in a shit-filled porta potty overnight. How good is the next band?
Some people gotta see Rush. Because I don't know who will be at the Oregon Country Fair that is so in demand that you couldn't see.
I love that Tom Sawyer song too, bro. But there was no line to get in. You actually didn't even have to stay in the shitter.
I'm just gonna confess that I ain't here for the music.
That explains the dookie hanging from your head.
I'm here for the brownie canyon. That's where I like to be. So that's where the chocolate's made.
This man is literally in hog heaven. He's swimming around in six toilet amounts of shit.
So they're used to hearing these stories of people trying to hide down there, but this case was different. Medics and sanitation had to lower a ladder and convince him to come out. When asked what he was doing down there, he simply said, "I wanted to live in a world of shit." I guess he's the only one really enjoying 2020. That comes from our listener. Yep. Wow.
Well, good for him, I guess. Wow. All right. I don't even know how I would react if I'm taking a dump and I hear someone talking. I think I would not say anything. I think I would leave.
You done yet?
I could use some. You got any more? I think I would leave and then shut the door and then somehow compartmentalize it in a way and never think of it again.
No, it would become a shuddering memory that every once in a while you would be in the middle of a pleasant day. Right. Or let's say one day you have grandchildren or you're sitting out in I would say your big sprawling ranch style home in Wisconsin.
A bunch of dead horses around because I forgot to feed them and stuff.
No stairs.
No stairs. Who needs a stair?
And then you explain to them, well, you just sit there and you imagine your life of success and you just imagine the pupil coming up from beneath the toilet bowl of just the blinking eye of him and the smiling mouth and him saying, "You done yet?" And you think about it forever.
Got any more? Wow. Yeah. No, it would hit you. That memory just comes and wallops you when you least expect it. And that is the day you die.
That is the day that you die.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for listening to this week's Side Stories. We hope you enjoyed it. And you know what? We went from Dookie in the ground all the way up to space today, didn't we?
And we cover it all.
We covered it all.
We cover every spectrum of humankind. Yep.
To aliens covered in shit.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. You imagine. That's what I'm saying, though. You're an alien. And you're just like, what do they do? What did they do?
They shit and they eat and they fuck. But that's what they say a lot of times. The aliens, they think that we have an understanding of beauty, passion, and emotion that they don't, which is why they have the hybrid program with us. Which is what they said, is that they need us to mother their children.
Well,
how many times they gesture. I was watching Carla Tucker, who's this woman that's been abducted many times, and how many times they talk about the hybrid program that the Greys would have a baby and just press it at a woman's tits.
Well,
being like, milk, milk, milk.
Well, if you want to watch people who are a little bit different than that, watch the documentary on cubing on the Rubik's Cube. It's very interesting. Felix and Max, very cute couple there.
I have no fucking clue how you got there.
Yeah, well, I did. I just want to recommend it. It's a beautiful, beautiful little documentary. It's only 25 minutes.
Well,
cubing.
So live your day knowing that you gotta live your day knowing that there's something up there. And guess what?
Something down there too.
It's not looking out for you. It's not looking out for you.
No.
And down there, it is looking out for you. But it's giving you a whole look at it. And you gotta laugh. You gotta laugh knowing if you're shitting on a man inside of a toilet, do it with some passion. And just instead of being freaked out, absorb the news. There's a man watching your hole dilate and shit on top of him.
Right.
Although and sell it.
There's no light down there. Maybe if they would just put a sign on one toilet, be like, guy down here. And then you can make a choice if you're like, all right, I'll go shit on this guy.
Yeah, I would call that sort of a troll toilet.
Yeah, the troll toilet. Because these concerts.
He's the toilet troll.
Yeah, you gotta do something.
You gotta do something. Now I want you to laugh.
Just laugh,
yeah. You gotta love. You gotta love knowing for a fact that your hard-earned tax dollars are being mushed around in several different back to slush. What they're trying to do, the money that you pay, the good money that you pay, is equal. The $1.3 trillion in taxes is equal to the money that DOD loses in a month. Quite often, that they just lose that money.
What happened to it?
And it's going into a slush fund in order to pay for the giant spaceships that they are going to use to leave us behind. And the only thing you can do is laugh sometimes.
You absolutely have to laugh. The Department of Energy and HUD. Follow the money, I suppose. All right, everyone. Well, thank you all so much for listening. Hope you're hanging in there the best you can. Hail yourselves!
Hail Satan!
Congratulations, everybody.
Hail me.
Indeed.
Hail me. I just asked to be down here.
I will, you know what? Because you told me you were down here.
Yeah.
I respect that, and I will poop on you.
You know what, honesty? I have a lot of poop right now. You gotta pee.
Beggars can't be choosers, you freaking monster.
I was born telling I could be anything.
You imagine just be like, that's not very good shit. That's not good shit. It's like, fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck you.
Hey there, buddy. Don't forget, there's plenty of Last Podcast Network merch available over on lastpodcastmerch.com. We got shirts for all of your favorite shows like Wizard of the Bruiser and Page 7 and No Dogs in Space, and of course, plenty of stuff for Last Podcast on the Left. Go to lastpodcastmerch.com. Thank you.
Talk about regrets. We all know someone who's been in a car accident and said, I don't need to call a lawyer, only to regret it after their pain and damages were worse than expected. When someone hurts you, you deserve to be compensated fairly. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm, fighting for the people for over 35 years. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com/podcast. That's forthepeople.com/podcast. Their fee is free unless they win.
Hi, listeners. Marcus, Ed, and Henry here. It's a little bit of an announcement.
You loving all the episodes of Last Podcasts on the Left lately? Well, listen, now you can get even more from us.
Squeeze it out of us. If you want to hear new episodes ad-free and unlock access to Last Podcast on the Left 7 days early, subscribe to SiriusXM Podcast Plus on Apple Podcasts or visit SiriusXM.com/Podcast Plus to start your free trial today. Do it.